Today we're exploring one of America's most iconic landmarks, Mount Rushmore. This colossal monument, carved in the Black Hills of South Dakota, isn't just a breathtaking sight, it's a powerful symbol of American history and ingenuity. While most people go the typical way and visit from the north, we wanted to go up from the south along Iron Mountain Road, which was created to spotlight Mount Rushmore. We are just starting the Iron Mountain Road drive, and look at what we've seen. Mount Rushmore, way out in the distance. You said you thought maybe it would be bigger?
I don't know. I mean, it's very, very far away, but I don't know. Somehow I thought it would be bigger.
Iron Mountain Road was built in the 1930s to connect Custer State Park and Mount Rushmore, and its architect built the winding road with some unique features, the first of which are 3 tunnels that spotlight the mountain as you drive through them. After the first tunnel, keep your eyes peeled for the Norbeck Overlook, which you can park at and then walk out to get some great views of Mount Rushmore from afar. We're still pretty far away from Mount Rushmore, but that was a cool overlook. The road continues to wind through the hills and gain elevation as it heads up to its next tunnel, which gives you another view of Mount Rushmore out in the distance. Again, you need a good zoom lens to be able to see the faces through the tunnel though. There's one more tunnel before you make it to Mount Rushmore, and this is by far the best with the clearest view of the mountain out in the distance. This might seem like overkill in the video, but I wanted to share this as most people will not experience Mount Rushmore this way, and I thought it was pretty cool. After leaving Iron Mountain, we connected with Highway 244 and continued towards the National Memorial. Mount Rushmore itself doesn't cost to visit, but there is a parking fee of $10 for passenger cars. We made it to Mount Rushmore. That was an incredibly cool way to drive in. If you can do it, you should definitely do it. Any thoughts, Pops?
They call it a pigtail, which makes sense. I mean, it's crazy the way that they set that road up and the way that the vistas open up when you go through the tunnel is really sick.
And this is Pop's first time visiting Mount Rushmore, and my first time as well, so I'm excited. Let's go experience it.
All right.
Even in early May when we visited, there were still a bunch of people that were coming to the monument. We hadn't eaten all day, so our first stop was at Carver's Cafe, where we grabbed a couple sandwiches and we just sat on a bench and hung out and watched everybody go by. After finishing lunch, we walked down the Avenue of the Flags, which was created in 1976 and has a flag for each of the states and territories before arriving at the official viewpoint.
It's cool. If you look at that far side up there, there's a big area there, and so there'd be plenty of room for my head, because I have a larger head, and so I think I'd fit right to the left of Washington there. So maybe in 100 years.
Pops, is it just as small as you imagined in your first comment?
No, that thing is monstrous, but we were far away. It's really impressive. Wow.
All right, we're gonna head to the Visitor Center and then out to the Presidential Trail. The Visitor Center is located below the viewpoint and at the back of the amphitheater. From Memorial Day to September 30th, they have a lighting ceremony every evening that you can see here. Here's a picture of what Mount Rushmore looked like before it was carved. The Visitor Center only really has one big room of exhibits, but it's incredible to see. There are a bunch of old photographs showcasing the creation, there are plaster casts of the different models, there's information about the sculptor and how the area itself was chosen. It actually took 14 years from 1927 to 1941 to carve the monuments. You can see this tram car that they used to get up the mountain right there to work on it. Watched the movie, went through the exhibits, now we're heading out on the Presidential Trail. There really isn't a lot to do in this memorial, and most people can probably see it in a half day. The Presidential Trail is the main thing that people do while they're here, and it's about a 3/4 of a mile loop. It doesn't take long to walk around to the boardwalk, and then when you're on the boardwalk, there's different viewpoints for each of the 4 heads. The first is George Washington, and you can actually see him through this cool viewpoint in the cave. Next up is a direct view of Lincoln, where you can see the face well and you can understand how big they truly are. Each of the faces are 60 feet tall, with their eyes measuring around 11 feet wide. This is the closest you can get to the monument. The last major observation deck gives you a decent view of Thomas Jefferson and Theodore Roosevelt. There's the observation deck we were just at, right there. Make sure you guys go see Pop's video he's making right now. Look at that. Look at that work he's putting in. As you continue around, you'll start heading down a bunch of stairs going back towards the Visitor Center. Look at the shine coming off of George Washington's head from the sun. It's kind of like the shine that comes off of Pop's head from the sun.
Mostly in the back.
Pro tip, take the route clockwise, because if you don't, you're going to be going up 400 steps instead of down them. As you make your way down the last set of stairs, the views are blocked by the trees, and then you'll get to a power generator which talks about how 90% of the mountain was carved with dynamite, but a little bit of it was carved with jackhammers. Fortunately, the Sculptors Studio is closed, but you can peek inside and see some of the models. The Sculptors Studio has a scale model of the original idea for the mountain, and it is open during specific days in the summer. If you don't want to go up and down all the steps, the best way to do it is just to go out clockwise and then go back that same way, and you don't have to go up and down the stairs. If you do that, you will miss the Sculptors Studio though. All right, we made it back up all the stairs. Pops, what's the last order of business?
Ice cream, baby. We'll see if it's good here. A lot of people have it, so.
Must be good. This is such a cool place, way cooler than I expected it to be. Definitely come out here and check it out if you're in the area. Well worth your time. So apparently Thomas Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and America's first ice cream recipe. So I got the Thomas Jefferson vanilla and salted caramel. Not a bad spot for a scoop of ice cream. It's cool because in the ice cream shop, they have Thomas Jefferson's original recipe from the 1780s, and then they printed it on the back for you. You can buy this for $1 if you want to go home and try to make it yourself. That's it for our time at Mount Rushmore. We'll see you on the next one.